Hello there. Cheers. What's going on, folks? Another edition of Boxing Chit. We're in the building, baby. Shout out to Choice Habit bringing it to us. Gonna check that out a little bit later. Website is under development right now. But that aside, another day, another weekend of boxing. How's it going there with your buys?
Well, not so bad. I'm having drinking latte, but the weather is a little rainy, but it's still pretty warm, and finally the summer is starting to show itself for real here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Similar sentiments here. Yeah, we've had a rainy day yesterday. I had a
Um,
local amateur boxing event, the Belfast Beltway Boxing Classic. So we had some amateurs over from Ireland. It was a good
all
time.
right,
Good
that's quite.
time. Some good stuff. I'll have to share some things from that, but all good. As you know, of course, even though it was raining here somewhat, hey, the show went on. As
Yeah.
always, boxing, the show goes on, baby. So we appreciate everyone being here live as well as those that will be listening on the replay. Thank you all.
Mm.
You are appreciated. Real quick shout out to Francisco Horna. Hey, cheers there to you, Francisco. Uh, uh, Thanks for dropping by there. He says, leaving church soon here, cannot stay long. Hey, cool.
Mm.
Appreciate Hey, we appreciate you taking a quick time there. All good. Cheers to the Whiskey Reaper. Says, happy Father Day for all the fathers in the USA. Indeed, there, the Whiskey Reaper. A great name right there. I love it. For
Yeah.
sure. So cheers to your Whiskey Reaper and happy Father's Day to all for sure, because that
Yeah.
is today here in the US. So happy Father's Day. Enjoy. Show some love out there. Uh, but yeah, we had some boxing yesterday there, Boz, and not bad from an overall perspective. I guess the marquee fight, which is one I didn't see, but I have caught the highlights, of course,
Mm.
is that of, or at least highlights of the knockout, that featuring Richard Son Hitchins. I think it's Richardson Hitchins, right? Instead of Richard.
Yeah. Richardson.
Richardson. Cool, cool. So Richardson Hitchins, he was taking on George Kambosos, former world champion himself there, George Kambosos.
Yeah.
And this is a 140 pound
140.
contest. Yeah,
Mm.
140-pound contest. Yeah, you're right there, Bob. IBF World Junior Welterweight Championship here. So
Mm.
Richardson Hitchins, he won his title recently. Kambosos, he won a title at 135. He's up at the 140 ranks right now. Hey, and somehow worked himself back into the title picture. Looks like it was an eighth round stoppage in what was listed as a dominant victory for Hitchins there, Boz. I wanted to get your thoughts on things in terms of the prospect of Hitchins, who was a very good boxer,
Mm.
technically sound, and he got a stoppage right here. It was a nice left hook body shot. And then George
Yeah.
Kambosos, and kind of what the future may ultimately be there.
Yeah, well, he really surprised me also. I didn't expect him to score a knockout because he doesn't really have many knockouts, hasn't had so far, and seems to be more of a boxer than a hitter or puncher. But yeah, I mean, he did the right. I mean, he fought a great fight, obviously, but also one must take into consideration that Cambosos has had too many tough fights already by now and shouldn't have taken this one probably. And but yeah, still you cannot take anything away from Hitchins. He fought his fight and yeah, he scored another important victory. I mean, yeah, Cambosos just didn't have much chance. He didn't have much to say in this fight, and now Hitchins, of course, called out Devin Haney after the fight, and Teofimo was in the ring actually after the fight.
Oh,
Also, he came in the ring because he was there when, yeah, in the audience. So, I mean, I would love to. Everybody would love to see either of those fights, him fight either of the guys. I mean, so, but I think the guy he most likely has a chance to win against would be probably Teofimo rather than Haney. But I don't know really. Haney fight would also be a very close fight. I think something like, I don't know, 50-50 or 60-40 probably.
Would it be an
So
action fight?
yeah, it will be. And obviously there's some kind of grudge between them probably also. And yeah, I don't know. He mentioned Bill Haney as well. Maybe he talked some trash about Hitchins. I'm not sure, but anyway, one of those fights are like a dream fight next for Hitchins, definitely, and the fight everybody wants to see. You know, him versus Teofimo or versus Haney. So
Mm.
yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that's pretty interesting right there. I think
Mm,
the Haney fight, it could either be a good one or it could be a snooze fest. I guess you can say, depending
yeah,
on
true.
how things go, which is interesting.
Teofimo,
But
yeah.
uh,
Teofimo would probably be more exciting fight because Teofimo is a puncher and an aggressive fighter, and yeah,
yeah,
Haney
so yeah,
Haney isn't really. Yeah.
yeah. So it's a matter of which one is doable. I guess
Mm,
I guess, probably have around the same weight as far as the doability. Now I know
mm,
Tiafimo, he's come out and he's been aiming seemingly at Terrence Crawford, which is very unlikely to happen at this particular stage. But he's
mm,
also aimed at Boots Ennis there, Jerron Boots Ennis,
yeah,
which is another one that kind of seems unlikely, but
yeah,
maybe there's a 50-50 chance, assuming that Boots stays at 147 pounds. And that I think is still a question mark at this particular stage, though I don't know if anything in the immediate sort
yeah,
of recent news has come out in regards to him and whether he's going to stay there at 147.
yeah. I actually did read that something about yesterday that Boots was moving up because he cannot make the limit 147
Mhm.
anymore. So there you
Okay.
go. It's gonna
Yeah,
be hard for him. Yeah.
yeah, that wouldn't surprise me then right there, that being the case. And also, of course, I'd imagine if he stayed there at 147, he seems to be geared towards trying to unify and become undisputed. And therefore, that kind of takes Tiafimo out the picture since she's in a different weight class right now.
Yeah.
So that's an
True.
interesting aspect of it. So the Hitchins, that seems like that's one that is doable. Haney,
Mm,
it seems that Haney and Garcia were on a collision course. Whether they still are on said collision course, I guess, is still of question. But if they are, and if they're going to stick with what was intended to be a later this year contest between Haney and Garcia prior to that whole, I guess, fiasco there in New York, or
mm,
debacle, some would say, considering how the fights went. But that being said, if they stick with that, then of course that would come here a little bit later, likely September timeframe. So Tiafimo,
mm.
was it a matter of will he wait? He fought on that same day. Will he wait
Yeah.
or will he
And
pursue Hitchins? So very interesting.
yeah, and Hitchins is a tall, light welterweight, by the way. He's 5'10", so it's not
Oh
very
yeah.
unthinkable that he can make 147 in the near future.
Oh yeah. No, that is good. That's a good point right there. So very
Mm,
interesting for sure. Of all of them, of course, we know that Haney and Tiafimo, we've had more chatter about them since they were both at 135. So there is some history there. Hitchins, Tiafimo, Lopez. I think that one is sort of one where less of the casual public will be kind of looped in on Hitchins in the way they would be with Haney. You know what I'm saying? So that's something
mm,
I guess they may also think of as well. But Hitchins has looked good. He has his title. He's now defended it, and hey, we can see what ultimately transpires from such. There are, of course, we know other
yeah,
champions there at 140, one of them being Barrios, who's going to take on
yeah,
Manny Pacquiao. So we'll see how that goes. And then, of course,
true. Yeah,
Teofimo
probably.
himself has the title, right?
Yeah.
And do they make up between the three of them, this being Teofimo, Barrios, and Hitchins? Do they make up all of the 140 belts there? Let me see the ring rating. They may very well make up all of the belts.
I expect Barrios to send Pacquiao back into retirement if he doesn't win it. I will be surprised if he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right there. Kind of same here. I'm thinking that
Mm.
will happen there, despite the amazing feats of one Manny Pacquiao. This one
Father
right here is
time.
very interesting, I will say.
Yeah, can't beat Father Time, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah,
46.
yeah.
He's
Uh,
46 going on to 47. Like, and yeah.
yep, yep. So it's very interesting. Hey, and
Mm.
so Teofimo Lopez, he is the ring champion as well. So I think they do have the belts. I think are mixed between Teofimo, Hitchins, and maybe Puelo has a belt or something of that
Mm.
nature. Not really
Well,
sure in there, but it either way, it's pretty 130 or 140 pounds. It has some pretty solid competition there. Because
yeah.
outside of Hitchens, as I mentioned, Albert Puelo, we still have Jack Catterall there, Honor
Oh,
Barboza,
yeah.
who Teofimo
You
just
see,
fought.
he's
Um,
fighting, Pueblo is fighting Subriel Matias in July soon. I
oh
mean, in a
wow,
month.
that's a good fight
So,
right there.
yeah, WBC title. Yeah. So it means Pueblo.
Stylistically, it's a
Yeah.
good fight. It should be at
Yeah.
least. We know
Mm.
Matias comes with it, and he has that power, and we'll see how Coelho does and handles it. Darn good boxer there. Then you have Gary Antoine Russell, Sandor Martin, Dalton Smith,
Mm.
Andy Hirako,
Oh, yeah.
Hiroka, or however you pronounce that. Have I seen him?
Hiraoka.
Yeah. Okay, Hiroka.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's who's out there. So some pretty good names, actually. Low key, they've managed to kind
Also,
of maintain some
yeah.
pretty solid names there. So some good fights can certainly be made there at 140. So we'll see what's next there.
Also, we have from Britain a young, very, very promising talent, Adam Azim. So they're
Oh yeah,
also,
yeah, Adam Azine, that is right. I know he got a win not too long ago, or a
yeah,
couple months back. Yes, I believe it was a stoppage too. So Adam Azim,
yeah,
hey, someone to
Sergey
watch.
Lipinets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Mm.
yeah, Lipinets. So yeah, cool, good stuff there, bye. So we'll see there. 140. Hitchins,
Mm.
Kambosos Jr. As for Kambosos Jr., something tells me like that pushes him further back there from title contention.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. He's worked his way into getting his title, but that might be it for him right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really why he keeps fighting these slick guys, you know, that are not his kind of opponents, his ideal kind, you know. He should be fighting these brawlers who come forward and yeah, but there are not huge punches also
Yeah, yeah.
because he isn't, of course. He's not really a big puncher, of course.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be the case. He'll continue to do this thing in Australia.
Yeah.
Big picture, he will be remembered as that guy who beat Teofimo Lopez,
Mm.
streaking Teofimo Lopez. Though there was a lot going on prior to that fight there with Lopez, but interesting. Kambosos world champion. Of course, he beat Lee Selby as well in a fight. I kind of thought Lee Selby won. I was leaning towards Selby when I saw that
Yeah.
contest.
I
So
don't remember that fight, but I don't know if I have seen it, but maybe not. But yeah, I know you said that you thought
yeah,
Selby.
yeah,
Yeah,
I felt Selby won it, but the judges made their choice. So we'll see there with Kambosos
yeah,
what he
mm,
continues to do there. I'd imagine he could still bring some people out in Australia. But that title picture is getting thicker and thicker. So this might have been his last shot here, at least in the immediate future. So time will tell. But
yeah.
good stuff there.
Only time will tell.
Yes. Hey, also
Yeah.
Indy Cruz. Andy
Andy,
Cruz, he fought and looks like he got a fifth round TKO. I thought he would end up picking up a stoppage
yeah,
victory, but Andy Cruz, another hot shot prospect. I haven't seen that stoppage there, Boz. And I know that, of course, I would love to see him take on
yeah, it
Keyshawn
was.
Davis. I don't know if you saw any highlights of such
Mm,
either.
mm. It was. I saw the stoppage only. He did have
Okay.
him twice, I think, 3 times. Was it twice in before that? But that was like a quarter stoppage, and the guy was taking some serious punishment. Mishiro, his name was. So yeah, the referee jumped in and yeah, did the right thing. So
Okay, good to
that's,
go. Good to go there.
mm,
So Andy Cruz, he's been on a little run there, and he's come out of the gates from that amateur scene, and he's been doing his thing. He looks like he has the goods. So I do
yeah,
want to hopefully see him and Keyshawn Davis at some point, or anyone else. But yeah, one to watch. If you don't know one, Andy Cruz, the Cuban sensation, Olympian, he is one to watch there for sure.
mm,
Also, I haven't seen the actual stoppage, but that heavyweight Terramana, or something like that. I saw that he got a first round stoppage there, Boz, and he is a big guy. I've seen him fight before, and of course, he's still in that developing phase, and
Terramana.
he's just a big, strong guy there with a cool name, Terramana. And
Which
he got a first round stoppage apparently.
which division is that? Is it
He's a
heavyweight?
heavyweight. He's like
Yeah.
out of Australia or New Zealand. You
All right,
you have to
Terramana.
look him up. If you, for those that he may not have seen him, I think he's probably like six. He looks like he's about 6'7" or 6'8" or something like that. And
Right.
he's a tall, strong guy there. Still, working on some things boxing wise in terms of that overall development.
Mm,
Apparently, this was a first round stoppage where he kind of battered the guy, but we'll see what he's able to do here as time goes on.
yeah.
I think he did have some amateur wins
Mm,
that probably put him on the map somewhat. So we'll see how it goes with him. But he did pick up a stoppage victory. Cheers there to Bruce Gaz, Boxing Jazz, and more. To salute brothers Josh and Boz. Salute there to you, Bruce Gaz. Be sure to check him out, folks. Be sure to go over there. And while you're here as well, too, hit the like button. But go over there to Bruce's, hit the like button, subscribe. Good content over there. He was just going over the anniversary of um, Larry Holmes versus Gary Cooney. It was
yeah.
pretty nice there. So good stuff. Bruce
Yeah.
holding down the history, and he does the trivia. So I'll be back over there as well, Bruce. So appreciate you dropping by there, buddy.
Mm,
Also, shout out to Montrese. Cheers
hey,
there to you, Montrese. Thanks
that's
for
my
dropping by
friend.
there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Says a salute there to Boz. So be sure to check out Montrese as well, there, folks. Appreciate you dropping by
Oh,
there, Montrese.
yeah.
And Bruce Gas mentions, how about that Aussie heavyweight with the same first and last name? Yeah. That's so that's what I was speaking of right there. Bruce has got it. So you see them. Yeah, his name is like Terramana. So you'll have to check him out there, Boz, and let us know what you think. What the prospect is for him? Hey, he's one of those big guys that, hey, just off sheer size alone, he's gonna be sort of a challenge there for some. So we'll see how he continues to develop. Bruce
Yeah.
mentioned that Andy Cruz looks fantastic. Awesome. I do
Yeah.
need to see that
I
contest.
found
Definitely looking forward to that one.
Terramana. Yeah, Terramana. 6'6". That's true. He is. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, so 6'6". Okay, cool. Bruce Gas mentioned that dude looked like one of the Samoans from WWE. Yeah, he does have that look to him, and maybe that's something he could ultimately get into as well outside of boxing, the wrestling world there for old Terramana. So a very interesting guy. Bruce Gas mentioned today Hearns
Oh,
versus Duran anniversary. Oh wow,
hey,
1984.
that
84.
great right hook
Hey,
knockout.
one of my favorite knockouts right there. As you
Hey,
know, there, Boz. Crazy.
right here.
Yeah. Just sit
Well,
Duran down timber. It was just like, and then from
vicious.
Duran's
Yeah,
corner knew like, oh yeah,
and
he's
Duran was wearing a heavy beard, but it didn't help him.
not at all, not at all. So yeah, crazy. Thank there, Bruce. Always astute to the history there. So we have Hearns Duran's anniversary here today, folks. Hey, might be one worth checking out. And as we mentioned, of course, happy Father's Day once again to those here in the mix and those that will be listening. So good stuff there. So that was that main card there, Boz. Moving on, there were a couple other cards with some notable names that went on. There's this heavyweight. His last name is Murray. He's out of Germany. He actually fought, and looks like he picked up a victory. He fought, and Murray, he fought. So for those who may not be familiar with the name up top, he fought and lost to Jared Anderson. You might know him for that. And he lost to Kevin LeAnna, who was the South African heavyweight.
Oh yeah.
So he beat Tony Yoka. He beat Tony Yoka. So he's an interesting guy. He's about 5'11", solidly built guy.
Yeah, he beat a guy from Serbia, Andrej Pešić. He's just journeyman. Yeah.
yeah. That's who he beat here last night. So yeah, he's been
guy,
back on the men here from that Anderson bout in 2024. Okay, so this is his first fight of 2025. So he picked up a victory last night, and it went down in Germany, where the majority of his fights have taken place.
Yeah.
There, what seems to be a technical decision over. Let me see the name here because it went down. I accidentally closed my little thing, but Nito Donaire, who's back in the mix here. Of course, Donaire, Hall of Fame career, and he's someone that is still active. I think he's probably like 42 now or something like that.
Yeah. He is, I think, 42, 43, something like that.
Which is amazing.
Than many.
yeah, definitely. So which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Donaire, so he took on Campos, so yes. And he picked up a technical decision win after 9 rounds. So I'll have to see exactly what happened.
And that was in Buenos Aires, in Argentina.
Oh, yeah, Buenos Aires. There was a vacant WBA interim world bantamweight title on the line as well. So very interesting there. Nolito Donaire, long-time fighter who's put in a lot of work, a multi-time world champion, multi-weight classes. So he's still out there doing his thing. So we'll see what happens from here. But good stuff there. The Filipino Flash still going at it. Then we're going to go back a little further there, Boz, to the week prior in Juntao Nakatani. He got a 6th round stoppage over Nishida via TKO, IBF, and WBC World Bantamweight Championship on the line. Nakatani, one of Japan's top tier guys. Him along with the monster Naoya Inoue are probably the 2 top guys right now. I think conventional wisdom and the general public, or those that are boxing fans, would likely think such. And hey, they could be headed for a clash or collision course at some point. I know that's something we've thrown out there, and I think that would be a heck of a fight.
Yeah, what a fight in Japan. Oh, super fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would certainly be huge there. It's going to be huge across the sport, but certainly huge in Japan as well. And the monster has shown a little bit of vulnerability there at 122 pounds, though he's still very much dangerous as they come.
He even gets more dangerous when he gets knocked down, you might argue.
Oh, yes. You're right. You are right. So yeah, Nasukawa, he picked up a victory over Santillan. So that's another one, 10th round decision there. And also we're going back a little bit further that same or that same weekend at least, and we did have a world cruiserweight title contest with the IBF and ring cruiserweight champion Jay Opataya picked up a fifth round TKO over Squale. I forget his first name, but it's an Italian fighter who was undefeated.
Yeah. What was it? Claudio, I think. Something
So
like
yeah,
that.
it was a very interesting one there for sure. So Opataya, of course, looked good. His opponent was game for as long as he could be, at least, and it ended up being a TKO, and Jay Opataya broke his jaw with a right hook that was just
Wow.
perfectly placed at the very beginning of the fifth round. I think it was the fifth round. I said, yeah, very beginning of the fifth round, a right hook that just broke Squales. I think his name is Squeal or Squale.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Squale, and broke
Claudius.
his jaw, and he went down immediately holding his jaw, and the referee counted him out. It was over, or at least stopped it. So
Yeah, Taya is a menace. He's a menace.
yeah, Opataya, he is in his prime on his game as we speak right now, and man, I just love to see more and more of him out there. He really wants that contest with Zerto Ramirez, which was expected to be one that would have happened after that last fight, but it hasn't happened yet. Is Zerto ducking or running from it? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I know that Opataya, he's made it pretty clear. Now Zerto is about to fight someone else here at Cruiserweight coming up.
Dorticos.
Oh yes, Dorticos, Uniel Dorticos. So that is about to happen here fairly soon. So maybe after that contest, maybe, but there's no question that the man at 200 pounds is Jai Opataya, and he wants to unify. He wants to become undisputed, and there's that potential of, if he can do so, and Eddie Hearns has mentioned it, move up for a fight with Usyk. That would be a heck of a clash right there, and a heck of trajectory and a sequence of fights there for Opataya if he can pull it off.
Yeah. I mean, the only guy that is really left to beat for Opataya is Zurdo, of course, at cruiserweight. So he also has announced he has plans to move up. Where, of course, only one more division to move up. So before that, he wants to kind of clean out the division. He doesn't want people saying, "Oh, but you never beat Zurdo Ramirez, so you were never really the best." So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That
He made it abundantly clear that's what he wants. Zurdo.
Yeah. But I hope that fight doesn't drag out forever, and I hope we don't see another Canelo versus Benavidez there.
Yeah, right. Zurdo, I mean, he's usually been game. Come on now, Zurdo, we need you to jump in there. You got to do it, man. You got to do it. And I think it's a good contest. I like Opataya for sure, but I do think it's a pretty decent contest. So hopefully we can make that happen. Zurdo, he's a big guy. He throws a lot of punches right there. So that'll be something, at least there to throw in the mix with Opataya, see how he handles that.
Yeah, Zurdo, I think, has a pretty good chin also, and him being a big, heavy guy, he wouldn't be easy to stop for sure for Opataya, and he can box, of course. That will be a problem for Opataya from a technical standpoint, avoiding those punches, and not get just, how do you call it, shut out,
No, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And Zurdo, hey, he had the chance to do some things there. Opataya, he will take risks in there, even if it leaves himself open a little bit, because he will try to go for it offensively. So that will open up opportunities there for Zurdo. So low key, it seems like it'll be a pretty darn good fight, just stylistically.
Yeah, sure. Let's just
So,
hope it gets done. It gets made, like at least until by early next year or spring or something. I hope. Hopefully, yeah,
yeah, and I think that Zerto is Golden Boy, right? I think he's with Golden Boy. So
yeah.
in Opataya's match room, they can make it happen, man. Hopefully it does. Cheers there to your AM in the
Hey,
AM.
that's another one of my. You know what happened? You actually shared this to my other channel, not the boxing channel. That's why you get people from the fragrance community tuning in.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right there.
but
I'm
that's
bad. Be
alright.
sure to check out Boz's Boxing. Yeah, wrong
Mm,
channel right there.
yeah, but that channel has many more subs than the boxing channel, so that works out well. Also,
All right, good to go. But
mm.
Boz's Boxing, be sure to check that out as well. And check out Boz here on this channel as well, the Angry Bosnian.
Well, I'm not
Good.
angry boss anymore. Anyway, I'm back to just boss.
Just vibes. All right, good stuff there. That is funny.
Oh
So yeah, the
man,
wrong page. Similar colors in that logo. I guess I looked at it wrong and one.
yeah, they're kind of yeah. Well, both have balls on them.
Vibes, a man
Yeah,
of many talents there. Yes, indeed, there, Bruce.
the Renaissance man. That's me.
The Renaissance man is out there. The Wanderer.
The boy
Cool. Good
wonder,
stuff there, Vibes.
not
But
boy.
thank you everyone for being here. You know, we appreciate it regardless
Yeah,
of it. Good stuff.
we do.
And Bod, so we'll talk about the stuff that's coming up here, folks, real quick. We'll jump into that. And Brian Norman Jr., I didn't know he was going to be fighting, especially this soon,
Oh,
actually, in terms of I hadn't seen it on the schedule for some reason. But Brian Norman Jr., WBO World Welterweight Champion, is going to be heading over to Japan.
oh wow.
And it's going to be on Thursday, June 19th. So I'd imagine it's probably going to be early in the morning, just given how that time difference is, unless they work something out. But that being said, he's taking on a fighter by the name of Jin Sasaki.
Sasaki. And
And I
yeah,
don't think
well,
I've
that's
seen Sasaki.
he had a fight only like 3 months ago, but it was like 3 rounds. He ended it in 3 rounds. Norman Jr. I see. So that's why he can fight so soon again. Yeah.
Got it. So interesting. So yeah, any notable names on the resume or
For Jin Sasaki, I mean, I don't
yeah, for
see
Sasaki.
I don't see anybody really. Well, a few like semi names, I guess. Yeah. The Japanese
I
guy,
think
very
my
highly rated.
my signal
Just
went out
Bruce,
there.
19
All right.
1 and 1. His records.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I have to see. So Bruce mentions that the Japanese guy very highly rated. Okay, good to go.
He can punch, obviously. He has got 17 knockouts.
Hey, and hey, you know what? And it's gonna be in Japan. So hey, that's a
Yeah.
that's a sort of risk there for
Not a,
Norman. I like
yeah.
to see it. You know, I like to see him
Well,
taking that risk and that jump and heading over there
yeah.
across the
It is.
pond. You know.
Yeah, it's not a safe fight, definitely.
Yes. I like to see that. So that's what's up there, Brian Norman Jr. And so, but he's also, it seems like I saw an article there when I just searched him out talking about moving up or him saying, if I move up or something like that. So that might be something in play for him as
Oh,
well. But if that does happen, hopefully we can get him and Boots Ennis beforehand. But yeah, this should be interesting. So yeah, this guy Sasaki, I see 17 knockouts in those 19 victories. So he's like he can
yeah.
punch. So interesting. I didn't know this one was going down.
Yeah.
I look forward to it though. Norman Jr. Hey, outside of Boots, maybe the top guy there at 100 and 47 pounds. So
Yeah.
you gotta be interesting.
That's what he looks like it definitely. His knockout of Santiago was very impressive also.
Very, 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 and and I thought Santillan would give him a lot of trouble there, but man, he handled
Mm,
Santillan with kid gloves almost.
mhm.
But crazy,
Yeah.
crazy for sure. So all right, so we have a WBO World Welterweight Championship going down again. That is Thursday, June 19th. Looks like it's going to be on ESPN Plus. Then there is a card on Friday in Saudi Arabia. Not familiar with the guy, the Argentine, or yeah, it looks like an Argentine by the last name of Cruz, or is that the Nicaraguan flag? But I think it's Argentine flag. So
Yeah.
Cruz and then
If it's a
Utria.
light blue, yeah, light blue
Yeah.
is Argentine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah. So it's a zone card. So it's Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. So Riyadh season, I guess you can say. So
Mm.
very interesting. But then on Saturday the 21st, we have Gal Yafai in the
Oh,
WBC interim world flyweight championship matchup, and he's going to be taking on Rodriguez Jr. So Francisco Rodriguez Jr. So this should be an interesting one right here. Yafai, he looks pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
the sky's the limit for him, and
Mm.
this will be his chance, at least for an interim title there.
Yeah.
I have to look into Rodriguez Jr.
Yeah. Yeah. That fight against Sonny Edwards, it was really shockingly one-sided.
Very much,
Yeah.
and coming into that, I thought Sonny Edwards might get that nod there. I actually
Yeah.
picked Edwards to get the nod, and Yafai
Me
showed that
too.
he's the real deal.
He's the new Big Yafai.
So
The new
Rodriguez
champ.
Jr., yeah, he's been around the block a few times. He has fought for a world title. He lost to Ioka. He lost to Nakatani as well.
Mm.
Okay.
27,
Yeah.
6 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 39, sorry, 27 knockouts, 39, 6 and 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been around for a good little bit here. He fought Chocolatito back in 2013. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's a while
2013.
ago.
Very good while ago. Hey, so he has experience there, and that experience it can take you far. So we'll see how he does. Whiskey
Yeah.
River says, "What do you think of YouTubers trying to lift boxing up?" Hey, it's Whiskey can Jake Paul really fight a real fighter? But yeah, hey, I say power to them there. They found a path there to Whiskey Reaper. They carved out a path. There have always
Mm,
been sort of spectacle bouts in boxing, so this has a tinge of that in some capacity, and people are willing to pay for it. So why not? And it brings in casual fans, newer fans, and others
yeah.
who become familiar with the sport. And I'd imagine some of those translate into fans of just the other areas of boxing there. As it relates to Jake Paul, I do think he's serious about his training and approach to it, of course, and he's been getting better at it.
Yeah, he
Now,
did beat
certainly, when it
actually
comes to a
Haney.
real fighter, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how he would do against like a legitimate contender in the cruiserweight division, or well, certainly heavy. He's fought at heavyweight too, and I
Mm,
know that he probably wouldn't do too well with a heavyweight contender. But I don't know, at cruiserweight, yeah, it'll be tough. So we're probably going to continue to see more of these style of fights that we do see from him, and people tend to tune in. But he is taking it serious. He is taking the sport serious. I will say that. But as
mm,
far as like real contention, he's not there yet, and he hasn't fought an opponent to get him there yet. At least an opponent that is like active and legitimately a like young threat here in their prime or whatever.
yeah.
We may not see that directly unless he can lure one of these big names from a lower weight class or whatever in with him. And even in that, there's certainly going to be some caveats because they're likely going to be smaller from an overall perspective. But if he got in there with like a legit cruiserweight who is like a top 10 or 15 guy, or even maybe right down the outskirts of that, yeah, I think it would be trouble for him. But hey, I have no problem with him doing his thing and bringing some eyes to the sport. What do you think, Boz?
Yeah, I mean, as long as he makes boxing more popular and more people tune in to watch it, I'm satisfied. I mean, boxing definitely is now more popular and more seen by more people anyway than before. You know, people that
Yeah,
otherwise wouldn't have really watched it. So yeah, it's all
yeah.
right.
And he's done some great things on the promotional side as well. He signed a lot of the
Yeah,
top women in the sport, and they're legitimately the best,
yeah.
or some of the best in their divisions at the very least.
He's
And
he's got a lot of
also, yeah, he does some pretty good prospect shows. So him and the guy that works with MVP, Most Valuable Promotions, they do a pretty solid job, and they have these prospect shows that are pretty solid as well.
mm, he really has a lot of enthusiasm for the sport, so that's a good thing.
Oh yes,
Hey, just Frank,
indeed.
my good
Cheers to
buddy.
Just Frank. There's 86 bucks and by salute. Peace and love, brothers. Appreciate you there, Just Frank. Thanks for dropping by, buddy. Be sure to check out Just Frank, people, if you can. Be sure to go like and subscribe. He has content on his channel as well. You might like, especially into the gaming world. So salute there to you, Just Frank. Always a pleasure having you in the mix here. But yeah, Jake Paul, hey, the real deal. At least so far, it looks like a real deal as far as him actually competing and at least taking the sport
Hmm. He
serious as
definitely.
well.
Oh
And
yeah,
whether he can turn into a legitimate title contender, that's still a big question. But hey, he doesn't need to. He
yeah,
doesn't need to.
right,
He's shown that he can get people to tune in. And we got boxing on Netflix now, folks.
yeah. And he proved he's a better boxer than his brother, also.
Oh yes, 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 yeah. He is better than Logan. And Logan, hey, he found a place in the world of professional wrestling.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
so hey, both of them have worked things miraculously, I guess you can say, in some sense, considering
yeah.
they were social media guys, and hey, they infiltrated two
True.
sports. So good stuff there. Let's see here. It looks like we have, I'm going to say this is Liam Walsh. The Irish Walsh is that Liam Walsh who is going to,
Mm,
or no, Caleb Walsh. Yeah, Caleb Walsh. He's going to be fighting next Saturday as well, headlining the card against a Mexican fighter, Elias Espadas. So that's going down in the U.S. here, and it's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, it looks like. So UFC Fight Pass. So Caleb Walsh is back in the mix, folks. Pretty solid
mm,
super welterweight. Also, we're gonna have Vito Milnicki Jr., I guess young and upcoming welterweight from New Jersey. He's gonna be in action here on the 21st as well. It's gonna be an ESPN card. They will also see the return of Brendan Lee. You ever caught Brendan Lee there, Bob? He's fought on some
yeah, yeah.
Showtime cards.
He's a pretty entertaining fighter. Yeah,
Yeah,
puncher.
yeah. So yeah, he's good
Mm,
to go. He's going to be back in the mix. He's taking on Arajo, which is an Argentine fighter. I don't know if I know him. Melnik is taking on Gardzilik. You may know him there. It
yeah,
looks like he's Polish.
Polish.
No, no,
Yeah,
not.
Camille.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Polish. Gardzilik. I don't know if I've seen him.
All right. But
And
now
then,
Milnicki is at 154, I think. Well, his last fight was at 160, actually. But
oh yeah. So this says middleweight. It does say middleweight. So yeah, I
I
guess
think
that's
I
where.
watched the one where he beat. That was last year when he beat this guy. Maybe it was against El Haraz, or I'm not sure, or
Yeah, yeah. I know he had a big one. So
maybe
okay.
even against. against Ronald Cruz, maybe. I don't know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah, it
think
could have
so.
been them. But yeah,
Yeah.
he has good fundamentals. Hey, he's got the background in it. Yeah, shout out to Umar, who's one of the coaches here in DC. He was speaking on going to like Jersey and all that stuff with like DC uh kids, athletes, and all of that stuff. So, and they would compete and all of that stuff. So I know Melnicki, he has gotten some good work for sure. So we'll see how he continues to develop. And then the fight on there, which I'm looking forward to, I think is a darn good one. We have Jahai Tucker, and he's taking on Lorenzo Truck Simpson, who is a guy out of Baltimore who was somewhat touted. He took a loss to a fighter here a couple fights back or whatnot, but now him and Tucker are going to go at it, and I think this is going to be a banger. Has the potential for a darn good matchup right here. So I'm looking forward to that one. So Jahai Tucker and Lorenzo Truck Simpson. So that's a good one. I remember when it was initially announced. I thought it was a pretty solid one. Just Frank mentions Jake Paul has become somewhat legit, but he will always be a YouTube joke to me. He and Logan equal the clown show formerly known as the Paul brothers. Got you right there, Just Frank. Got you there for sure. Yeah, he takes things serious, but yeah, he hasn't fought a like legit, like real contending fighter in that sense. And we'll see what he continues to do, and what weight he operates at, because he kind of in between heavyweight and cruiserweight, and he hasn't been below the cruiserweight division. Like he hasn't been down to 175. I don't know that he can get there. So he's gonna have to operate in that cruiserweight and heavyweight space. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Thank you there, Jake, Just Frank. And so yeah, those are I guess that rounds out the big weekend there, Boz, and then there's going to be a good card in Australia that following week. So we'll probably touch on that a little bit later. Oh yeah, some pretty good ones coming up. At least some interesting matchups, and of course Paul being one of those as well. I see here. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes down. Just Frank mentions he is not as legit as the freak show name Brock Lesnar, a whole nother level. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, right there. Just Frank, good stuff indeed there. But man, this is good there, Boz. So we had a pretty decent weekend. I'm gonna have to catch up on some of those fights that we were speaking of. But hey, not bad overall. So we continue to see some pretty decent and solid matchups. So we'll see what else continues to transpire here over the course of time. I did want to mention I saw something about Turkey making some statement or something saying the ring is going to be smaller or something. He didn't want to see any running or whatever, running around or whatever. So I saw something in relation to that. I think it was legit. So that'll be interesting right there. So he's looking for action.
Yeah.
Let's see, Just Frank, I need to start a petition to have Chris Cyborg Santos unblock me from her channel. She banned me for asking her if she would do a Playgirl Centerfold. Just got you there, Just Frank. Got you.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with her. You don't want to make her angry.
Cyborg, the GOAT in my eyes on the women's side of MMA there. Shout out to you, Cristiano. But got you there. But good stuff there. So, hey, we appreciate everyone here being in the mix. Boxing Chit, we're back again. We should be back next week, but I do have this thing coming up next week, and I have some very good news in terms of some other interesting things coming about. I'll share as well here over the course of the next few days. But with that, it's been great. Yeah, man, appreciate you dropping by, Boz.
Yeah, my pleasure as always.
Oh yes, thanks all who came through, showed some love. Have a good one as well there, Just Frank, the Whiskey Reaper. You name it, everyone who dropped in, Bruce Gas, etc. We appreciate you all. Hey, and we will be back. Be sure to check out Boz's Boxing. You can check out this channel as well, the Fragrance channel, but Boz's Boxing. So we'll be back in the mix next week here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy Father's Day once again to all the fathers out there holding it down.